kata yese te ka bahasha. Te o moe o kata e mai o muka I shewa mata au o muku se atae motu. Naka asha ta mai aso mei, kaya tu o musuku yuhu tu isuya kaya. Mateo, ka motu yusutu mo, atea kamu e ate se a kama. E a boya takamu ye, siya katama ye wata. E amo ese a katama, uyomota ye sheme, we.
Greetings and salutations to starseeds and all of those who want to develop the awareness of who they are, why they are, when they are, and where they are, and how many they are. This is Starfleet, Commander of the Rock Confederacy, Arcturian Command, Ground Crew, Council of Nine in the physical, representing the Power 9-dimensional energy, as in the flesh here, high-tech, leading edge. God made me, so I guess I'm original. So here's the deal. What I want to explain to you today is hemispheres, the logic mind and the intuitive creative mind, or the God mind, or where God talks to you. Always know and remember that when you receive voices or angelic messages, or you learn the signs, that is your right brain talking to you. Everything comes through the right brain and coming towards you from the right brain. The logic mind is irritated because the logic mind was designed to be a guard mind, meaning like a guard that governs everything that's, that is supposedly visible and makes sense. So when you lose a lot of sense, the guard can act irritable, tries to shut you down, tries to convince you that you're crazy. I'm here to tell you that you're not. So once you're finding equilibrium with the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere, you begin to see things such as ghosts. You begin to have more contact from outer dimensional and other dimensional beings, interstellar, outer stellar, all dimensional aspects that can make contact on a quantum level, mind you. It's not on radar, it's not on radio. Everything that's below the spectrum of the speed of light, you cannot actually establish contact because that's like super slow motion. And that's not where we and how we communicate. We communicate through life. Biological communicates with the biological. The force is in the water. I learned that even more now, that your quantum supercomputer is actually your water body. And water is susceptible, so make sure that your water body is safe. Make sure that you don't curse at your people. Make sure that you love your kind, help your kind, assist your kind, assist and exist and coexist and accept you and your surrounding environment, and make the change in you so the change can take place in the world. You are a liquid morphogenetic field. You are a liquid crystal. Right now, I understand you're running on a low energy, on reserve. I'm not doing any better. I feel like the ET in a movie that's trying to assemble his Stargate so he can go home, or identifies with ET as his people come back to pick him up. He comes back to life and he's going back home. That's how many of us feel, or many of us identify with that character, because we want to ultimately go home. What people don't understand is there's a visible government, yes. There's an invisible government, yes. The invisible knows a little bit more than the visible government. There are signs and things in place that are created on a need-to-know basis. But once you have the knowledge, it cannot be hidden. Knowledge means find the wisdom within, the inner wisdom. The ultimate power tool is you and your stuff and what you carry within. So at times you need to go time out from the world, sit down, call it meditation, call it what you will, label it. We need labels to follow certain instructions, I guess. So you sit down and you get quiet and then listen to the cross chatter that's coming from your mind. That has to do with the desynchronization of the left and right hemisphere. We need to synchronize that. Once they synchronize, meaning the logic mind, the automaton, and the intuitive, the feeler, need to find an agreement. The agreement lies in where the pineal gland actually can activate that. So meaning if these two parties meet here, the light line is to here. Triality is needed to go back home, meaning plus and minus, meaning extremes. Don't be the over spiritualized guy that everything is kumbaya and I'm Jesus and I walk with the and blah. No. Be real, be here right now, be with the facts that are real right now. Like Jesus, like Superman. Right now it's a movie. It's an allegory. It's a story to remind you of who you are. The 12 tribes of Israel could be the 12 main meridians going down your body, bringing the temple of God into one construct. The Queen Sheba visited the temple of Solomon. Sheba means the 7, interestingly. The 7 chakras. That's just basics. Boom, 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 boom. Going to the temple of Sal, your salt, the sea salt that you carry in your bloodstream. Amun, as in, Israel. The children of Isis, Ra, Confederacy, and Elohim forming the crown, which is the gateway to the heavens. And one thing is very important. People think that Buddhism, Christianity, and Judaism, or many other religions are so different. Here's the thing. They are not so different. Masaru Emoto has taken a photo in a freeze flash of water when a Buddhist monk prayed to the bottle of water, when a Christian prayed to the bottle of water, and when a Muslim prayed to the bottle of water. Now guess what? And that's what I go by, and that's what I look at. All the crystals formed harmoniously and they connected to the source. Everybody had their way of connecting to the source. So all the other religions have their ways of connecting to the source and their belief systems. So what we believe is to unify the field of 30,000 religions, maybe 400 that are like known and then the rest is unknown. If you intend, and that doesn't require any language or any practice, it's if you're in tune with the source, you speak from the heart. The modality of your prayer is that you are becoming that, what you are actually sending out. The energy is harmonious and that is evident. And that is in the future what we will go by, is we will measure you by your intent coming from you. So meaning, as our senses kick in, as our right brain begins to get more power, as the guard shuts down, basically the magnetic interference that we have on Earth will slowly shut down. That will force basically the logic mind into submission. Meaning you have nothing but to experience that what is to come and witness and document that. And that's why time collapses, because there's no more reference of time quality. No, let me correct that. Reference of where we came from was time quantity. You need a certain amount of time to deliver a certain amount of job to get a certain amount of money. Right now, it's not about the quantity and the accumulation and the hoarding of materialism for an empty being. It's about, how can I put it? It's about the quality of living. Like, how do you feel in the now? How do you feel in this moment? What does this moment make you feel? Do you feel good? Okay, then we shall continue. And shall continue on that path of following our intuition. Now understand, if you're in front of the world map, you have America here and the rest. You have Europe here and the rest, Africa here. So let's say these two represent your hemisphere. This is you, this is the collective. And right now, energetically, we have forces that work on, even when in traveling, that the US side, this side here, is actually, you have to basically do this, stand in front of the map, and when you turn around, these are your hemispheres. So the US is the right hemisphere, the child, the children, the dream state, the intuitive, the gullible. And then you have the logic side, which is the knowledgeable, the logic mind, the controller, the control mechanisms, in part, a little bit overpowered Nephilim grid and draconian and reptilian construct of locking the system. Even dimensional lock systems. That's why you don't see gateways in the rocks or don't see ships in the skies, because you're kind of dimensionally locked and blind. Because you can't accelerate. You can't go past the speed of that acceleration point that activates you, which is to come. So we are basically the ground crew incarnates. We are here to prepare those to step into that without fear, because we can't be in a fear-based system. So I want you to formulate in your mind that the European sector, going to Russia, going to Asia, Africa, call that the Eurasian Platform. All this was one continent that broke apart. That split took place not only in the continents, it took place in your hemispheres. So let's go back. Just play with numbers, you know, don't nail me to this. Let's say 5 million years ago, some beings, call them creator gods, put an implant of a thought pattern between the emotional body and the mental body. So meaning you have nothing but distortion between the two. You can't agree, you can't talk, you can't find the oneness. Well, that distortion pattern is being lifted. It's irritating because it's been 5 million years. So see for yourself that as this template is being lifted, you're coming into oneness. So your brain will go from left hemisphere and right hemisphere into a oneness, meaning the veil that you see or don't see is actually not so much outside, but more as in the inside. Here, it splits basically you into two, meaning that your cosmic body, your God state, tries to integrate into the ground vessel, and that's difficult right now because it's starting to come in, and you're not holding position into where you need to be to let that integration take place. And what I'm telling you basically is formulate in your mind that Europe and the US can become an American world that can unify, that people can travel, that they loosen up the borders, and people that really are here to make a change, whether we have scientists, whoever that is in place, that we acknowledge that, build on that we stop complaining about the economy. As far as I'm concerned, the things that I have in place, I'm your economy. I'm the new economy of America and of the world. Why? I have things and jobs coming up unheard of. Nobody thought about this, and we need people, we need to move material. Money or barter systems are not going to fade. Banking systems are not going corrupt. No, what will happen is real simple as you look at this with a very, very cosmic common sense mind. It will be karmic. Karma will be instant. Business will be transparent. If you have digital transactions and money and business running digital, it'll be obvious where money will go. You can trace that. No more paper that you can stack somewhere and hide somewhere because, and I'm not saying, we all want to make money or we all want to be abundant, but here's the idea. I don't understand in my mind how preferably actors can make $300 million, sit in a 30-room mansion. They're using 5 rooms. They got 15 cars. I don't know, 2,000 pairs of sneakers. That is, to me, as in spiritual evolution, wasting energy and not helping us progress. But if people, and many of them do, I'm not trying to put all actors in just one bucket here. We build hospitals in Africa, adopt children and whatnot, and helping for the betterment of mankind. But here's the idea. Why not invest in bubble domes, solar-powered, low-maintenance, low-cost running houses that are built out of photonic substance? I'm working on a project that's called the Ascension Chamber. We can build and construct stuff, and it's already in place. In many, many places already it has started, where how we help each other is to come together and put our funds together to direct the flow of money into what we want for Earth, and control that, and have people like me with a camera go to places in the future and say, this is what's being done with what you're giving or what you're spending. And however that is, if you acquire a key, it's not just doing that. You help people like us to control our inventions. No longer do we have the fall for the corporate, because the people unite and support us, and we can go there. It's not like that we turn into millionaires overnight, but step by step we can recover from the corporate world. We are not bound to contracts that lock us down or limit the way our inventions go. We do not depend on any patents. If we have something that works, first use, prior use, have it in an email, which is the gospel in court, worldwide. Use your pictures, upload what you have, be the first to do it. It's stated, it's archived. Google archives, save it everywhere, backup copies of your stuff. Do that in a one stroke. People say conspiracy theories, I don't go so much for that stuff. They can't stop that right now. You know, we have 700 million people on Earth. Right now they believe that they are starseeds and that we're going places. They are in tune. They are waking up. They're realizing what they have to do. And that is what we're here to explain to the people is unify. Unify and learn to unify. When you step into fear, you're in the reptilian grid. Basically, you're feeding them. When you step into courage, bravery, not stupidity, integrity, and you don't lie. Like in the future, let it be known, people that lie to you or misuse, that you can enable to prosper, you stop working with them. If they don't understand the concept, they need to learn on their own terms. We're here to lead by example, and it's as tough as it is. We are by ourselves, and we are happy that we have YouTube, because back in the days, we were laughed at. We had a little circle of friends, and they call them in the muggle state or three-dimensional mind. They don't want to evolve. They don't want to go further. You know what? We can't interfere with free will. We have to basically surrender to those who understand where we are. And again, we are those volunteers that came back in time to incarnate in the flesh to have our memories kicked in, which is now. And how does that feel? If you wake up, I'm part of a crew called the Council. At night times I wake up on ships. I have no proof because it works interdimensional. And it takes place interdimensional until the evolution of the human race is at a level that many others, we already have millions having that. I have a 10-year-old boy that talks about that, can see stuff. You know, the dude climbed rocks with me and said that he saw an ET sitting on a rock and he knows where the gate is, where they come in and out. The dude is 10, meaning the kids come in here with no brakes. They don't have the conceptualized thinking that locks us into a dimensional lock that we can get out of. But now I'm saying here's the opportunity that you can develop, that you can get out of that by leaving yourself open to the possibility there's much more than you think there is. And the situation that you're in today, do not try to identify with that, because it can change any given moment. And the things that will unfold to you in science that you'll see in the next coming years will be next to mind-blowing. And there's a lot of things which I like about quantum physics is the predictability ends. In quantum physics, you can't predict the outcome. You don't even know what you're looking for. And that's the only way God can present himself to you. And I will say, if you get your mind right, if you get the quantum physicality of your water structure in your system correct on a quantum level, and you link with the morphogenetic field in a noosphere, and you're surrounded by billions of negative of ions, you begin to understand that you will never find the Higgs particle in a hadron collider. You will never understand God by smashing atoms, and as the debris flies apart, in rough terms, you want to determine where the energy came from to a point of origin, trying to recreate the Big Bang. It's not going to happen. Why? Because ultimately you're looking for yourself. You will find a lot of other things. Basically, it's like you're smashing two cars and you're trying to reconstruct the cars. That's not a good method. It's actually a very rude and very raw method. The best method of finding the origins of the universe is go within. Practice meditation. Practice transcendental meditation. Practice lucid mind states. Get into brainwave machines. Try to find out how your brain functions. Get into Hemisync, the Monroe Institute. There are many videos about that. What does that do when you listen to certain stimuli? Where does your brain go? You have the capacity to build anything that you ever dreamed of, as long as your consciousness can receive it and perceive it, and then get into a state that you can actually use the 10 to manifest that what has been given to you. That's what you're here for. And those that are scientists, the builders, the Ormus people, another topic on Ormus, don't fall for the okie doke that they say, oh, Ormus and monoatomic gold, there's another Anunnaki plot. Everything is an Anunnaki plot, basically, to limit your mind. Interestingly is that I've seen cases myself where a friend of mine had third-degree burns and he used orgone. And he healed his hands perfectly by using this device, which doesn't need any electricity. Your brain has about 5% Ormus. You should have 100%. Producing it yourself, learning to hold it. Ask yourself, why is your brain not able to hold Ormus? Investigate into Ormus. Investigate into monoatomic gold. Invest into cell salts. Invest into nano nano gold, nano silver, nano platinum. And why nanoparticles are so important for you. To reflect what? The red. When you watch videos about that, the red needs to be reflected because the lower dimension is red, the higher dimension is blue. Superman's suit is red and blue because he mastered the lower and can tap into the higher. And I'm part of the blue ray, so that works for me. Spock always had a blue shirt, that's why I love that shirt. It's kind of jiggy and fashionable. And basically is you can be your own superhero, illustrate yourself, be on the net, talk about yourself. You have pictures, collectibles, ideas, data. If you have something you want to share with the world, I'll urge you, YouTube is for free. The time is now. Get up and speak to the world because you are needed. We're the first ones, or you can say the pioneers, that lead way out the window. We're the cray-crays. But I always have visions when basically the ships reveal themselves to a group of people. People begin to understand you are not alone. You're never alone. Even in your home, you always have assistants. You always have guardians. You always have angels. Probably everybody has like 2 angels. When you feel you're not alone, or you wake up in the middle of the night, that's basically when they talk to you, or they have spoken to you. Realize that, integrate that, bring that in, and anything from here is possible. So the old paradigm was the old paradigm. Even the old Vedic text is a nice reference. The old books, the Quran, Bible, what's the Jewish? The Torah. All of these books, and books that go even further back than the known books, are good reference points. But now we are beginning to write our story. No longer his story, your story. Get in gear to create reality right now, and realizing you are creating that right now. And you can build anything, move anything, put anything together. Just be smart and assemble in a divine way what needs to be put together as you remember yourself. And for those who are interested too, I do galactic heritage readings to understand what race have you been and is healing through you. Meaning you could have been Zeta, the act of desperation of genetic mutation, and you here as a hybrid to heal the race memory, because the Zetas basically tapped into multiple timelines and other dimensional aspects of their planet in the past to fix their planet, basically copy-pasted in other morphogenetic fields and parallel universes from themselves to genetically perfect themselves. But what they did is they created a deficit and a mutation, and they lost the ability to procreate because they lost the passion to design themselves, and the emotional body got crippled. That's what most of the world suffers from. So if somebody has been that, heal the Zeta. What else? You can heal the Lyran aspect, the Lyran War. You can heal the Orion. Could be that you've been in the Orion Wars, and out of ignorance and power-hungry beings, you're healing that aspect. It could be that you're Andromeda. It could be that you're Arcturian, like that I am. But I'm more Arcturian as I don't have to heal that aspect. I'm integrating the Arcturian frequency in the form of light. That's why Arcturus, Ra, meaning light as in Ra, is just a signature. And by my works, you'll see who I am. What did Jesus say if you want to go to the Bible? You see them by the fruits that they bear. So if a seed is rotten, you can never raise a tree that is in full health. So watch what your people are doing. Look at those that have a lot of theory, and then look at those who have the practicality in life to bring that in and bring something forth and create. And me, I love creating. I love designing. I'm working on starseed activation oils. I will put up a new video. I'm working on energetic plates, like panels that will have designs. So basically, I put everything that I have in my design mind to create and share that with the world and exchange energy, so we can change this dimension by changing our inner perception. And that is up to you, the viewer. Thank you for viewing this thingy here. And this is Commander Arcturus Ra signing off. Check yourself before you track yourself. And a joke at the end: what do you call a spaceship with an AC that's malfunctioning? a flying saucer.